Josh Hamilton at the center of baseball headlines once again. This time he's on his way, or I believe he's arrived, in Texas as part of a trade that saw the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, Angels of Los Angeles, whichever which way you want to go with it, eat up a whole lot of money. But before we get there, these segments are brought to you by DraftKings, where you can win a share of $10,000 playing daily fantasy baseball. Play for free by entering promo code TYT at DraftKings.com with a first-time deposit. That's TYT at DraftKings.com. All right, joined by managing editor, RotoWire.com, Chris Liss. As always, thanks for coming on. We know you have very specific feelings about how the Angels handled this situation, Josh Hamilton in itself, and we want to get to a little bit later on the clip, the fantasy impact that he's going to have on the Rangers. But let's start with the trade itself. Were you surprised by the trade? Did you think that anything had to do with Hamilton wanting to go back to Texas?
Yeah, I think he did want to go back to Texas. Actually, there was a report that he sent a video of himself hitting to Michael Young, who now, former Ranger, who now works with the Rangers. And it wasn't like tampering, I don't think, but he's basically like, look how healthy I am, I'm fine. It was almost as if the Angels were sort of extending his DL stint, and he, because they didn't want him with the team. But obviously, just for some backstory, right? Josh Hamilton, he's a drug addict, he's a recovering drug addict for a long time. He was a top pick. He missed several years of his career,
MVP
struggling
at one point too.
Well, he was an MVP after this, but he missed several years of his career early in the 2000s, struggling with drug addiction, alcohol addiction. Got through it, became a superstar MVP, was an all-star 5 years in a row, then signed a big deal to go to Anaheim. Didn't perform as well, and and then relapsed. But I mean, his relapse wasn't, he relapsed, ran over 3 people in his car, and I don't know exactly what happened, but he did some drugs, he got wasted, and then he turned himself in.
Right.
Okay, I mean, it's not like he did anything except relapse. He didn't do anything else.
One of the things that I've always noticed with Josh Hamilton or anybody struggling with any drug addiction, they need help. And it just doesn't seem to me like I could be wrong here, but it doesn't seem like the Angels organization really had his back even the day they signed his contract.
Well, I guarantee if he was producing like Miguel Cabrera or like Josh Hamilton 5 years ago, they would have had his back, right? But they were already pissed that they made an error and spent too much money on a guy for a new park who also, he was a risk to relapse. Yeah. He's a drug addict. I mean, he's a recovering addict. It's just, it's part of the risk that you take. And, mentally he has some demons. It's probably transitioning to a new place. There was some risk. They took it on. It didn't pan out. But what's kind of sickening is the Angels were like, he should take responsibility. Well, what do you want him to do? He turned himself in. He admitted what he did. What else is he supposed to do? Right. He didn't hurt anybody else. It's not like it's not like he crashed his car, drove drunk, he just got wasted on his own, as far as I know. And so why don't they take responsibility? Why don't they say, wow, we really signed a risky deal and it came back to bite us? Or, wow, we really promised the fans, the season ticket holders, that we were spending X amount on our budget, right, and now he's not available because of the relapse, because of the injuries. We're going to go out and spend another $30 million on another player so you get your money's worth. Or, hey, I'm the GM who signed him. Maybe I'll resign because I took an undue risk with the team's finances. Right. So you want him to take responsibility? Fine. Why don't you take responsibility? But it's not like that. They want him to take responsibility, whereas for them, it's like they were betrayed by him. They don't want to take responsibility for their own part in it.
Right. Well, one of the places that did take responsibility was Bleacher Report. After firing after firing one of the writers that went on a very immature tirade against Josh Hamilton that started off, and I'm going to paraphrase some of it for you, but basically started off with, they kind of knew this was going to happen from the moment of his infantile stages as the Angels showing up at a titty bar, and just kind of went on to attack a character assassination of Josh Hamilton for, again, like we've mentioned a few times throughout this clip, a recovering drug addict. They knew what was on their plate before they took it. Now that Hamilton's back on the Rangers, though, that has a pretty big fantasy impact for a guy whose ceiling, if he can find a stroke again, is some pretty not intense, but I want to say good numbers for baseball, the above average category, regardless where he's batting in that lineup. So I wanted to at least ask you in terms of how this affects the Rangers on the fantasy level. Yeah,
I just want to keep in mind, he just messed up and got wasted. It didn't affect his prep for the season. I don't even know why they care so much. Honestly, I don't. But anyway, so he's in Anaheim, which is a pitcher's park. It's more pitcher friendly. Now he gets traded. The police report thing was just dumb. It had no. It was just like it was like a 12-year-old writing something. It was just stupid. So that guy got in trouble and fired or whatever. But that's almost beside the point. He goes to Texas, which is one of the best hitters ballparks in baseball. Okay, so he should be expected to bump up his production just from that. He was also playing hurt a lot the last couple of years. He gets hurt a lot. That's just part of the deal with him also. That's actually a lot of the reason why his numbers have been bad. He's also, probably unhappy in Anaheim, given the support they showed him after he relapsed. I doubt the situation there was great anyway. I think he can be a monster, and I'll tell you something else, right? He's probably pissed off, and justifiably so. And I think that's good, okay? And I don't want to psychoanalyze too much because I don't know him personally. I don't know the situation. But, he was kind of with this woman, and her dad was one of those new age religious people who got him into the whole, God thing, and it helped him through apparently. But now she's going on the Real Housewives of Orange County, okay? So think of the mentality of that person. If you're going to go on one of those shows, you're a lowlife. Let's be honest.
I agree with that. I'm from New Jersey, Chris. The Jersey Shore was like
what
ruined what people think of my state.
It's lowlife, right? It's just lowlife people, right? So he's married to this woman, and her dad's involved in his life. Now he's justifiably pissed off. He divorced his wife. I think he's gonna rake. I think he's gonna go to Texas where he's happy in a nice park, and he's gonna crush it. And he's gonna be like, he doesn't seem like the guy that plays well where he's gotta live a lie. The whole oh, I'm all into Jesus and all this, and I'm a reformed person, and I've got this wife.
Even in Texas.
What? No, in Texas, I think he likes it there, and the park is good, and I think he's going to be pissed off, and he's going to avenge what happened to him. So my prediction is as soon as he's back, and it's going to be soon, health permitting, he is going to have a big year. He's going to hit 20-plus homers, he's going to bat 280, and he's going to have a really good season on Artie Moreno's dime, and hopefully knock the Angels and keep them out of the playoffs.
Well, that would be great. Real quick, I do not believe the Angels are a postseason playoff team. They postseason baseball team.
Right.
They can win 120 games during the regular season. Good luck making it with that pitching staff in the playoffs. Secondly, I think the fans of Texas, the Texas Rangers, there's a whole bunch of ballparks in Texas, but the Rangers fans, I think, will welcome him open arms and be happy to see him there. Before we go, over under 80 RBIs in the season for Josh Hamilton.
I'm going to say under because he's gotten such a late start. But a 20-80, 280-ish season is what I'm predicting. If you want me to go Vegas on you, I'll say under. Injury's still a possibility. Who knows if the shoulder holds up. But I think there's real upside there. And in a fantasy league, you should go get him now before the price goes up.
All right. Well, there you have it. Best of the best, managing editor of RotoWire.com. Chris, thank you for joining us. As always, these segments are brought to you by DraftKings. You can win a share of $10,000 playing daily fantasy baseball. Play for free by entering promo code TYT at DraftKings.com with your first-time deposit. That's TYT at DraftKings.com. Don't forget to subscribe.